could I have a fire brigade at Scrabo High School, Scrabo Road, please? Come quick, please. There's a fire up at the school. Right, thanks. Cheerio.
With me here I have Station Officer Dixon, who is District Officer for Newtownards and Portaferry. Hello.
Hello Gina, how are you?
What does your job involve?
My job involves being District Officer for the Newtownards and Portaferry area. That really involves being responsible for emergency incidents in the area as far as the fire brigade is concerned. I'm a residential officer with the fire brigade, and that means I sort of go home at night and sleep in my own home, and if there's a fire in this area, they'll call me at the phone and I'll respond in the fire brigade car to the incident, should it be an Ards, Portaferry, Bangor, or whatever.
What training have you had?
Initially, as a fireman, I was trained for 13 weeks. After that, I went on to the Fire Service College at Morton Marsh in England, and I had training for junior officer training and further advancement training to enable me to do the job I'm doing at the moment. That would involve fire prevention training, because fire prevention is part of the job in this area also.
How is this station staffed?
This station is staffed on a part-time basis. There are 2 full-time officers. I'm one of the full-time officers, and there's about 20 firemen. But the firemen are part-time firemen, which means that they're retained. They're paid a retainer to respond to fire calls in the Newtownards area, which means they're employed normally full-time by an employer in the town. And after that, if the siren goes off for an alarm, they also carry a pager, which is set off by the control centre at Lisburn. When their pager goes off, they respond from their place of employment and come to the fire station and go to the fire after that. At night time, they would respond from their homes. So they have an ordinary job, they go home at night, and when there's a fire, they'll respond from their houses and come to the fire station and go to the fire or other emergency from there.
How many fire engines are there, and are they all the same?
On this station we have 3 fire engines. We have 2 WRL fire engines, which means that they're water tender ladder. That's a code the fire brigade use, which means that they carry a ladder used for escape purposes to rescue people from buildings. They also carry a quantity of water, about 1,800 litres of water in each fire engine, which means they have an initial supply of water to deal with a smallish fire. After that, they've got to get water from the hydrant, of course. But there's 2 WRLs and 1 smaller machine called a MIDI fire engine, and it's more or less the same. But the WRLs also carry rescue equipment to be used on road traffic accidents, cutting equipment and hydraulic equipment also.
What happens when an emergency call is received?
When an emergency call is received, if you're to dial 999, you're put through to the fire control, which is in Lisburn. There's girls in fire control who take your call, and they will decide which area or which fire engine station will respond to the call. So they will alert the nearest fire station, and should it be this fire station, as I has explained before, the men respond from their homes or from their place of employment and come here and take the fire engine to the fire concerned.
How long has the station been here?
This station's been here about 17 years. As you see, it's a fairly modern station. There was an older station next door before that, but this station has just in fact been refurbished this year, but it's been here about 17 years overall.
Is the fire station a good career?
I have found the fire station, the fire brigade, an excellent career. I've been in the fire brigade about 20 years, and I would recommend it as a career for any young person as well as girls. The fire brigade is open to girls and boys alike leaving school, so it is an excellent career to be considered by any young person.
How could a school leaver become a trainee fireman?
To join the fire brigade, you've got to be 18 first of all, and to become a fireman there's an entrance examination, a written examination. You've got to do your written exam first, After that, there's a practical examination, maybe climbing a few ladders. You've got to carry a person 100 yards in a given time. After that, there's a medical examination to be passed. So there's quite a lot of rigmarole to go through to get into the fire brigade. But once you get there, it's an excellent career.
Can a girl become a fire person?
A girl can become a fire person or a fireman or a fire girl, whatever you want to call it. We have control operators in Lisburn who operate the telephones and operate the radios and in general control all the men. Believe it or not, control all the firemen in Northern Ireland, these girls do, so that's a one-up for the girls. But generally speaking, a girl can become a fire person. It's equal opportunity, so there's no reason why a girl couldn't apply and become a fire person just like a boy can, provided she meets all the criteria I've explained about. You have to have a height of 5 feet 7 inches and carry a person a given distance on a given time. So if the girl meets all the criteria, why not?
Okay, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Thank you. Room of the fire station. If we get a fire call, it comes from Lisburn, as I explained. Every fire station has 3 means of communication in case we lose one. We'll have 2 more. If we lose another one, we'll still got 1 left. So the first one is a private telephone line. The second is a direct line to fire control. And over here we have a radio system. So it's 3 different means of communication. And if you have a look at this, is a teleprinter. This is a computerized teleprinter. It's not in commission yet, but we expect to have the computerized teleprinter in commission within 6 months. It's being installed now, and in 6 months' time, we expect to come in here, and the computer will give us the address printed out. We just got to rip off the piece of paper with the address on it, and that will tell us where the fire is. The set we have now, Fireman Mitchell's wearing. If you turn about, Fireman Mitchell will see the back. The back is a cylinder, compressed air, and if we go to a fire, Fireman Mitchell will normally wear this set to go into smoke. The back is the switch-on valve. It's switched on here, and it's connected right into the back, all by these tubes, and into the mask. If you put your mask on, we'll see how you look with a mask on. This part is the gauge, tells how much air is in the cylinder. It's important to keep checking this because you can go into a fire and find yourself out of air. Should you become trapped in a fire, firemen always work in pairs. On the right side, on the shoulder, you also see a distress signal unit, and this will go off with a loud buzzing noise. You can set it off there, Anthony, if you wouldn't mind. You've heard the buzzing noise of the buzzer. It's designed specially to go off so it cannot be turned off inside a fire. A special key is held outside the building so the fireman can keep the buzzer going until he's released or rescued by another fireman. On this side we have a torch, very good for finding your way about in darkness, but it's a special torch. It doesn't go off any sparks whatsoever. So the fireman was in a building with flammable mixtures of smoke or gases. The torch can be turned off or on, cause no sparks, and will not cause an explosion. So this is the noise of the breathing apparatus. Okay, we're inside the fire engine, and as you can see, these are breathing apparatus. We saw them earlier in your film, perhaps. If I go to a fire, the fireman will jump in the back, and there's about 4 men in a crew at the back and 2 in the front, including the driver and the officer in charge. So en route to the fire, we get dressed in our breathing apparatus, like so, and we just remove a quick release clip, and we're ready to go into the fire with the breathing apparatus connected. So those are the breathing apparatus, as I explained earlier. We have 2 on each machine. We keep spare cylinders. This I have as a waistcoat for road traffic accidents. So if we know we're going to a road traffic accident, we wear this coat also, so we're obviously quite visible in any conditions outside. So that's all there is inside, apart from the front of the fire engine. If you swing around there, you'll see down there we have a radio. All the fire engines are controlled from Lisburn Fire Control, and every fire engine has its own radio communications, and this is how we try to keep in touch and respond and tell the kind of fires we got and the problems we have at fires or the assistance we require. As you see, it's a WRL, as we call it in the fire brigade. It carries water, it carries 1,800 litres of water, it carries 3 different ladders. One is to a 13.5 metre ladder, another one is 10.5 metre ladder, and the other one is a roofing ladder. So we'll move on our way around here. This appliance also carries road traffic accident rescue equipment. You can see it in this compartment. We have road traffic accident equipment for directing the traffic away from the area. If we can move on round, we'll see we have two WRL fire engines. We call them two pumps. The code is WRL because they're water tender ladders. The second one is more or less the same, but it does not carry the road traffic accident equipment. The third one is a MIDI fire engine, and it's a smaller version of the large pump, very suitable for rural fires and small shopping centre fires. This is a rear view of the fire engines. This one is the MIDI, a small size fire engine suitable for rural fires, and we have a back view there of the pump and the hose reel and the ladders. Moving along then to the next pump, the WRL pump. That's more or less the same, just a larger version. A larger version of the MIDI, and this is a full-size fire pump. Very same, the next one, the next fire engine is also a WRL pump, and really more or less the same as the one we've just seen.
With me I have Sam Dempster, who is a craftsperson with the fire brigade. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Can you tell us a bit about your job?
Yes, my job is to service the fire engines.
Right. What training have you had?
Well, I'm a time-served mechanic.
Where are you based?
Fire Brigade Workshops is in Lisburn, and that's where the main work's done.
What brings you to Newtownards Fire Station today?
Well, initially I came here today to repair a defect on one of the WRLs, and once that job was finished, then I started to service this vehicle here because it's now due for servicing.
Right.
With me I have Anthony Mitchell, who is a fireman. Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
What does your job involve?
Basically putting out fires, as the title would suggest. Road accidents, special service calls, things like that. Mostly ordinary household fires, chimney fires.
What training have you had?
Most of the training's done on station, but there are courses in Belfast at headquarters. For instance, breathing apparatus, driving course, and first aid courses.
What sorts of things have you?
Well, there's driving the machine, there's breathing apparatus wear, which means going into smoke-filled buildings. You have to have special training for this sort of thing.
Do you enjoy the work?
It is a very rewarding job. Well, the excitement of going to a fire at speed in a fire engine, and just the reward of rescuing people or knowing you've done a worthwhile job.
Have you ever had any dangerous situations?
Smoke-filled buildings would be the most dangerous. When you're getting in, you can't see where you're going, everything's just black. You're feeling your way around just.
How long have you been a fireman for?
Just over 4 years.
Is it difficult to combine this with your normal full-time job?
Not really. My boss is very understanding, lets me out, it's not too bad.
Okay, thanks very much.
The helmet is made of hard cork, so if he's involved in a fire, if you turn his head to the side, you'll see that it's got a lip on the back to prevent any debris or bricks falling. It would sort of fall in a fire and would damage his head. So the helmet protects his head and neck and shoulders slightly, as you see the rim. Further down then he's got his firefighting tunic. The tunic is semi-waterproof to prevent water getting into himself, and of course it's made of fairly warm material to keep him warm when he's out in the wet weather and the cold weather. On down you'll see his gloves. He wears protective gloves to keep his hands protected. You can imagine breaking into a building, the glass might break, windows might break, doors might break, so the gloves protect his hands, and of course his firefighting tunic also protects his arms. On down further then we have his waterproof leggings. They're simply waterproof trousers to keep his trousers dry so he won't get uncomfortable during a fire where there's lots of water about, needless to say. On further down we have his feet, protected by rubber boots. The rubber waterproof boots with steel toe caps, steel inserts in the soles. Needless to say, the protection on the toes and soles protect his toes and soles from debris again falling or standing on sharp objects like glass or nails. So that's the full uniform of the fireman.